Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tales of Three, an all-queer, narrative-driven D&D podcast where your three GMs are also your three PCs. My name is Dusty, my pronouns are they, she, and I play Ivy Nightbreeze Tinkerfey, whose pronouns are she, her, and tonight I have Chipotle.
What the fuck is Chipotle?
Chipotle?
Oh, hello everyone, my name is Waira, my pronouns are she, they, and I play Varys, whose pronouns are he, they. And I'm super pumped to play this game.
Hello everyone, my name is Ariana, my pronouns are she, her, and I play Alara Spinelspark, whose pronouns are also she, her, and Alara is excited to go on a ghost tour.
I bet.
Is she for the ghost tour, or is she...
For the gems.
If anybody asks, it's the ghosts.
Yeah.
The ghosts. A note regarding content warnings. This campaign is a dark fantasy that deals consistently with topics of body horror, complicated relationship dynamics, emotional distress, fantasy violence, gore, mechanized spiders, mental health and illness, profanity, and romantic and sexual relationships. A full list of episode-specific content warnings can always be found in the show notes of each episode. Last time, the three made their way to the Bed and Banshee Inn, and up in Alara's room they began to piece together the strange occurrences happening in town. Varys warned them both to be careful as they talked about the missing people and the thieves and the ghost apparently haunting the tunnels below. They examined the gems, and Alara showed them both her nanobots, which are able to detect magic. From the bots, they learned 2 of the gems Alara found in the tunnels were holding enchantment spells. They also revealed there was an unknown magical source around Ivy. After learning that there were remnants of a tower below the town, Ivy decided she wanted to go on this special guided tour deeper into the ruins. Varys, curious about these gems, said he would forge them badges and they would go the next day. Morning came and downstairs the inn was gaudily decorated for Souls Day. Each had their own reaction to the new decor. Varys went for their routinely morning workout, Ivy ordered food the bartender Reg had never heard of before, and Alara slept in. At breakfast, Alara revealed she uses runes and gems to power her projects. Ivy spoke more about her home in the capital of Ixalton, and the two had to convince Varys to come with them into the tunnels. Varys reluctantly agreed, but said they needed to go report to Riven first, and we pick up now with Varys heading out to go see Riven. So you get outside, and I think this morning it was nice and sunny, but there have been some clouds that have rolled in, and it's kind of foggy, like a very kind of grim day.
But
There are people you see as you leave the inn gathering in the town square. There's kind of a big crowd there. But you're going in the opposite direction towards the town guard building, which is like down the street. I think when you're about maybe like 30 or 40 feet away, you start to see some people kind of filing out of the building. You're assuming that they're guards. Can you make a perception check, please?
17.
Yeah, so as you're walking up, you start to see these people start to kind of file out of the building. Most of them are walking with purpose. Some of them you can see the brooch kind of at the forefront of their outfit, making it clear that they are working for the town guard. You do notice 2 people as they come out, and they come out kind of at the end, as everybody else does, like after everyone else has come out of the door. And as they come out, they put hoods up, and they kind of walk, and they both go off in like a different direction. It seems like all of the guards were coming towards the town square. But these 2 turn around and go a different way. And you approach the building.
What direction are they heading?
Away from the town square.
So like out of town?
It could be, yeah. So you know that this town, I guess we haven't described it. So this town has a town square in the center of town, and it has 4 main roads that kind of lead out. It's a very small town. Its only population is probably maybe like 250, 300 people. And so if they're not going towards town square, they're going away from it, what you would assume would be out of town.
Okay. Weird, but all right. Did he miss a meeting? Said he wasn't aware? Yeah, I guess I'll watch them head away and head out to see Riven. Does everybody else look uneasy, or?
You can make an insight check.
Yeah, I'm great at those. Let me do it. Let me try that. Yeah, that's a 6.
They look like they're going to work.
Cool. Yeah, he just walks right up and knocks.
You would know the door's open, and you can kind of walk in and then walk down to Riven's office like you did last night.
Okay.
And when you get there, the door's open and you see the back of Riven, actually, because she looks to be, has like her two fists on her desk and she kind of looks to be like hunched over, like leaning over. Are you being quiet?
I think that he always is unintentionally.
Okay. You can roll a stealth check then, I would say. There's no passive stealth, unfortunately.
I wish there was. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
16.
She doesn't move at your approach. It doesn't seem like she hears you.
Okay, well, he doesn't want to scare her, so I think that he clears his throat and kind of heads through the door, or stands at the door. Can he, actually, before he does that, can he look around?
Like in the office?
Yeah, just like...
Yeah, perception.
Like, why? Is she okay? Like... it's 21. Tell me your secrets.
Bold of you to assume my DC wasn't a 22. No, I'm just kidding.
For level 2, damn.
Mm-hmm. You look around the office. It's pretty tidy. It's a windowless room. There is a bookcase on the wall in the back to the left. A moderately sized desk, still stacked with the papers that you saw yesterday. Nothing has changed about that. On the opposite side of where the papers are, you see some more papers that it looks like she had been kind of like writing on. But one thing you do notice is that there's a ring on the desk, just like a gold band, but you can see in like the glimmer, the light, that there seems to be like maybe some little gems like inlaid in the band.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you see. And Riven is standing there, back to you, fist down, kind of hunched over. Breathing is normal. Like, I don't think that you would be alarmed or anything like that in regards to like her demeanor. Little bit of tension in her body.
Okay. Instead of clearing their throat, they tap on the door.
She doesn't even flinch and she doesn't move, but she just goes, "What is it?" And then she like slowly turns around.
Forgive the disturbance, just keen to report in from last night.
And when she sees it's you, I think you can see her like try to school her expression a little bit, and she waves you in, and she sits down at the desk and she takes the ring and she puts it in like a drawer on the desk.
Everything all right?
I should be asking you that. I heard last night was very eventful for you. Rounded up 2 of the pickpockets.
Not without help, certainly.
Well, the 2 of them are being held for now for questioning. We're probably going to send them over to Burnton, where they're more equipped to deal with them. The 3 of them have been terrorizing towns. They probably came here because they knew it was going to be such a busy weekend.
I would assume so. They tend to follow crowds like that around.
She nods. I assume the rest of the night went smoothly?
I think things went as to be expected. You know, tourists a little reluctant to go home, but for the most part, people cleared out. Nobody lingered late into the evening in the open anyway.
That's good to hear.
There are a few hiccups I would like to mention. The 2 that helped me apprehend the thieves. Both had strange experiences I wanted to mention. I'm not really sure if they're par for the course here or not.
She kind of looks at you curiously. Go on.
The 2 people had mentioned 2 separate scenarios that were a little odd to me. One was on a toll in the ruins and was being led away by gems.
Led away?
Led away from the toll by, I guess, a breadcrumb trail of gems.
She nods.
And they felt compelled to follow them. The other mentioned a person in a dark cloak who had almost ritualistic pockmark tear marks, is what they described them as, running down their cheeks, who hissed at them in the alleyway.
She nods. That's very interesting, because I just had 2 people walk out of my office with similar scarring on their face, sent from the mayor's office to be a part of the guard.
Oh dear. I don't know, the way this individual described the person in the alley, the person with the scarring made her very uncomfortable.
Did she get a description?
A vague one. Pale skin, sallow cheeks, yellow eyes, about darker hair. Couldn't really make it out due to the hood. And around, well, taller than 5'5", I'd say. I don't know exactly how tall, but taller than her. Maybe 5'7".
Very vague.
For height anyway, for sure. The only real defining factor was the scarring and the yellow eyes.
Well, the two that were just here didn't have yellow eyes or pale skin, and they were tall. And she looks at you. Herself, she's about 6'3", at least 6'1", 6'2" maybe. And she kind of sighs, and like slams her hand down on the desk. And she's just like, I don't have time for this bullshit.
They incline their head to the pile of missing persons and say, an additional thing, I'm sure you're already aware. Someone from the Bed and Banshee Inn has been missing for 3 days. I think a patron.
She nods. Someone went missing last night too.
I'm sorry. Someone you knew?
One of my guard. They were off last night and they never made it home. I just got word. I'm not sure what is going on. The disappearances are getting closer and closer together. It used to be maybe one every handful of months, something that we could never really track down or blame it on, people falling through. It is dangerous down in those tunnels. There's no getting around it. This is not the tunnels.
How many people have gone missing?
Since they started going missing 10 years ago?
Let's go more in recent months, in comparison to 10 years ago. Is it a drastic change or subtle?
Delilah was the first to go missing. The first that we knew of, anyway. She founded the town, and then just about a year later, gone. And I know she fell down. She was always trying to get down and in there deeper. And she didn't listen. She waves her hand. And then it was quiet. For 2 years, nothing really. We stayed, we kept looking for her. And then there was an earthquake. And a couple of months after that, people started going missing. In the past 6 months alone, and she gestures to the stack, 17 people in the last 6 months alone.
Any commonalities you can rule out?
She shakes her head. Mostly tourists, travelers, people who, I hate to say this, but wouldn't be missed, maybe.
Or at least they wouldn't be noticed right away. So it's strategic. This isn't happenstance.
We've never had a townsperson go missing before, not since Delilah. And the anniversary is tonight. There's no way that we can keep track. I have 22 with you, and 24 now with these two that Onyx is forcing on my team.
Onyx who?
Onyx, the mayor, Onyx Grayson.
Ah, well, this might be a bit presumptuous of me, but perhaps keep an extra eye on the two with the pockmarks. In my travels, I've seen similar scarring in a ritualistic manner, typically connected to cults, so...
She shakes her head.
Not saying that it is, just be wary.
No, you're right. All we can do is just keep a vigilant eye. 22 to the 500 people out there. It's going to be difficult.
Would it not be more easy to shut it down?
Onyx won't allow it. He's in the town square now giving a speech. I'm supposed to be there, but he can go fuck himself. I'm not going. I told everyone that curfew is moving up from 8 p.m. to 6 p.m. I don't want any chances. If you see those two, keep an eye.
I will. I'll be around this evening to keep guard and watch, I suppose.
Thank you.
Anything in particular you'd like me to do?
She kind of smiles. For the first time since you've seen her today. And probably yesterday too. I don't know that she smiled yesterday. And she goes, yeah, if you see my wife stumble out of an alleyway again, please make sure she gets back to the inn safely.
And your wife is?
Oh, well, she told me that a very broad, pink-haired man escorted her home last night.
Your wife is Reg. All right. I'll make sure that they get home all right.
She laughs. She told me that you flirted with her, but I have a feeling it was probably the other way around.
They nod.
She smiles. And then she looks at you and she goes, honestly, thank you. You don't know us and you don't owe anybody here anything. And if you left before nightfall came, I wouldn't hold it against you. But if you stay and you help, you'll have my gratitude and more coin.
I'll stick around. I have people here I care about as well, so...
She nods.
Would you like me to check back in before rounds start tonight, or?
No, I'll be out. You'll probably see me. Everyone has word. If anything happens, report here. The person at the front desk will be able to cast Ascending to me, and I will be right on it.
All right. I'll see you tonight then.
She nods.
Those missing people.
Yeah.
Could I take a look through them?
Sure. She gestures to the stack.
I think he's just going to take a moment to look through the piles of people, just in case he ever sees them amongst the hooded or something, or anywhere. And then he's going to hold anchor and leave.
And you can see as you're walking out, she's putting her sword in her sword belt, putting her cloak on because she's getting ready to get out into the streets as well. Okay, we're going to swing back over to Ivy and Alara.
Yeah, I think they've made their way to the town square. Lara wanted to check out the statue.
Yeah. Yeah, as we start to get out there, it's more packed than it was when Varys went out just a couple of minutes before. And Alara kind of like takes a deep breath and she goes, "Oh, there are a lot of people out here."
There really are.
The statue's not that important. I had intended to look at it last night, because it's like a huge statue in the middle of this town, right?
Is there something in particular you wanted to look about the statue, or is it just big statue caught your eye?
Big statue caught my eye. Usually, in a town like this, it's like an ode to someone. Is it an ode? Is it like in memoriam or a memento or whatever that word is? One of those words.
Fair.
Yeah. And it looked a little bit like mechanical also. And I was just like, what's going on with that? Curious.
Mechanical?
Mm-hmm.
Ivy starts walking towards it.
So you can't just walk up to it because there is a crowd of probably about like 200 people now, maybe more.
She pushes her way through the crowd. As
you start to go, Alara's like, it's really not that big of a deal. I feel like it's going to be kind of hard to like weave our way through. And then like, I don't really know how I feel about being in the middle of this, of the crowd, like a big crowd.
She stops.
But
I guess a couple people in.
Yeah.
And then comes back out. And she's like, "Do you want to hold my hand so we don't get lost?"
Oh,
or...
no. No, that's okay. But, like sometimes in the crowds, and then like if people get like upset or pushy and then you're like stuck there, it's just not like, it's probably not even that interesting anyway.
You said it looked mechanical.
It does.
The only statue I've seen that is like made of granite or something.
Yeah. I'm gonna have us both make a perception check.
Okay.
14. I'm middling.
It's an 18 plus 6.
Nice. So Alara is just kind of like, I think, keeps getting sidetracked with all the people, and like more people are coming and kind of like pushing in. Ivy, you do look over and you see a couple of things. You do see like a stage has been set up that wasn't there the night before.
Like a lot of things in this town.
Yeah. It's like overnight, they just flipped it right over. So you see a stage and you see a couple of people standing on a stage, and there is like a podium with what looks to be like a microphone. So Ivy, you look and you see on this stage, wearing a business suit almost.
Business casual slacks and...
Business casual. Yeah, he's business casual. You see an earth genasi with like onyx skin that has like cracks in it, or at least looks like cracks from where you're standing, with like lighter colors kind of bleeding through the cracks. Bald, broad-shouldered, a little bit stocky. And next to the statue are two people. And you look at the statue, and even from where you're standing, you can see that it looks just like where the arm joints are, looks to be like gears. So it's made out of like bronze, the statue, but the mouth looks like it's almost like a mask with like pieces that have been like put together. It definitely looks mechanical in nature. As you're looking at this, the person on the stage walks up to the podium and clasps his hands together. Ivy, you notice that he's wearing a ring that seems to like glimmer as if it was like hitting sunlight, but there's no sunlight. And you think it has some kind of like arcane shimmer to it. And as he clasps his hands together, he looks down at the crowd and he kind of smiles and he's like, "Welcome, welcome. I know that you all have been patiently waiting and I am so grateful that you have been so patient. As you know, today is the 10-year anniversary that our beloved founder, Delilah Grimm, went missing. And each year, here in Grimford, we celebrate her life and the loss we all experienced when she went missing. In her honor and her unending desire for knowledge and understanding of how the world worked before the Forsaking, we are so excited to reveal to you today this statue in her name. And everyone's like, some of the crowd starts to like murmur, and he goes, all right, okay, I know. The statue has been here for quite a long time, but it's recently had some upgrades. And he points, and the two people on either side, they pull like two levers, and you watch as the statue starts like moving, the arms, like slowly, very robotically, and the head like tilts to the side and the mouth opens and it just goes, hello, I'm Delilah Grimm, founder of the town of Grimford. Some people in the crowd like grumble and start walking away. And like you see now the crowd starts like some people who were in the front start like kind of almost like pushing, and Alara like backs away as that starts to happen, like even though you guys are at like the back part of the crowd. And she goes, see, I told you being up there would have been no fun at all. Also, that is really weird.
I don't like that one bit. That is creepy.
It is really creepy, right?
That is awful. I would be so mad if that was dedicated to me.
And also, I mean, you being from Ixalan and all, you must know, like, you've probably seen, like, really high-tech automatons and animatronics, right?
Totally. Every day of my life, just waving at them.
So you must live in, like, the upper part of the city.
You could say that. Yes, we live in a very big house.
Okay, that's nice. Do you have, like, your own automaton at home?
I used to have a dog.
Okay.
It was a robot dog.
Oh, she smiles.
She nods.
If I was coming to this town for this, I would be really disappointed. That mayor is weird.
Mm-hmm.
But most mayors are.
Do you think this is someone talking as her, or do they have her voice trapped somewhere?
Oh. Oh, God, I didn't even think of that. No, there's no way it's her voice. How?
So they just hired somebody to talk like her?
Well, it's probably like a recording.
For this stupid, giant robot.
Yeah, it's probably like a recording or something.
That feels borderline offensive.
It does, right? Okay, well, it's almost time to go on the tour. And we didn't need to come here.
No, I think we did. I think this says a lot about the town.
Yeah, I guess so. I liked the, like, inside of the inn, I thought it was pretty cool, you know? All of that stuff was fine. The skeleton in the corner.
You liked it after?
She goes, yeah, it's different, you know?
Different is totally a word that one could use to describe what that was.
Yeah.
There were a lot of bones.
There were. Do you not like bones?
They're not correct.
Like the anatomy?
She nods.
I know they're not. I know they weren't correct, but that's how you know that they're not like real bones, you know? There's like no question about it. It's very clear.
No bones about it.
No bones about it, no. I think it is at this time. Alara goes, oh, look, Varys is coming this way.
Yeah, and indeed, Varys is like making his way through the large crowd of people with something on their back that you haven't seen them wear before, which is a giant metal scythe. And he does look a little bit disheveled.
Ooh, okay.
Like he's had a hard time with something. Their shirt's a little opened up, their sleeves are rolled up, their hair's a bit of a mess, but...
Hey.
Hello. What, did I miss something important?
Oh, nothing major. Are you...
Oh, good gods. He looks up at the statue. It's like,
And it's just like repeating the same like couple of sentences over and over, you know?
what a horrendous mockery of an automaton.
It's and
Right?
also like a dead person, well, a missing person.
Oh, that too, but...
Yeah. It's pretty...
Oh, is that supposed to be Delilah?
Yes.
I think, yeah. Well, yeah, she said it was.
Oh, God.
Apparently.
The robot said it was Delilah. All right.
But we've already been through this. We don't think it's actually Delilah's voice, like trapped in a box.
Oh.
We think it's probably someone else, right? Who,
That's strange.
are you, like, you look great, but, like, a little,
Disheveled?
mm-hmm.
Do I?
No.
Motions to your open shirt.
Oh, sorry. They kind of, like, tighten the string a little bit.
Did you make your pass?
I did indeed.
Okay. What's on your back?
Oh, this? And he kind of reaches out and pulls it.
It's 21 questions.
Gives it a little spin. And it is a scythe that is definitely taller than Ivy is.
Oh, cool.
Really well forged, pristine condition, very sharp looking.
Very cool.
With a leather wrapped handle.
So, do you anticipate using it on a guided tour?
I hope not to, but just in case. This is my primary weapon, so they put it back on their back.
What's it called?
I'm sorry.
You know, what's its name?
You know, I hadn't really thought about naming my weapon. Do you typically name them?
I mean, I don't have a weapon, but if I had a huge fuck all scythe, I would probably name it.
Perhaps that shall be its name then. Fuck all. I don't know.
Works for me.
Alright, well, we have a few minutes before we have to be there. Shall we make our way? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Yes.
We could stop in the general store before we go if you wanted to get the map, or we can do that later.
Let's get it on the way out. I don't really think it,
I don't want to be late for the tour, because if they start without us, then I don't think that we can get in.
Fair enough.
And I don't know how many people are going to be there, because it was sold out.
And now it's even more sold out, I guess.
It is.
I hope you're good at lying.
Yeah, she takes out her pass and she like holds it up as if like she's like doing an inspection. And she nods and she goes, "These look really good. You should teach me how to do that sometime."
Sure.
And I think as they're walking, Alara goes, Ivy,
Yes?
do you really like naming things?
Do I?
Well, yeah, I mean, you asked Varys, like, about their scythe, and then you asked me if my pockets had a name, which now I can't stop thinking about, by the way, and I never thought about it once before.
I mean, all of the people I know back home name their things. And you see her sort of like stumble over her words a little bit, and she goes, some paladins I know named their weapons.
Mm-hmm.
The fighters I know named their weapons.
My pockets aren't weapons, though.
No, but my father has named inventions before.
Oh, I mean, I named some of my inventions. Just not my pockets. But maybe I should. Maybe I will. She walks and, like, she's thinking very deeply about this now.
Varys, you looked confused when I was talking.
Varys, it's just, he looks at you for a moment and goes, I'm just confused about your interaction with paladins. Are you from a religious family?
In a sense, I guess.
Alara from like 10 feet ahead goes, yeah, and she had automatons also in the upper part of Ixalan's, just...
Oh, so you're rich. Okay.
Rich is... We're comfortable. No, I'm kidding.
We live very comfortably. Well, on that, I think that we arrive at the Grimford Ghost Guide Tours.
Mm-hmm. The 3G network, yes.
The 3G network. And Alara is familiar with this little entrance to the tunnels as she's been here before. But as you all walk in, you walk into essentially like a gift shop. There's only one entrance and one exit out of this place, so it's just everything is right there.
It's a little stuffed Delilah plushie.
There's keychains, there's stickers, there's pins, and there are about like 25 people packed into this little room. And there is a teenager sitting behind the counter who seems to be looking at everybody's passes. And as he checks the pass, he stamps it, he hands it back, and then the people move into the other room that leads down into the tunnels. So, would you guys like to just get in line, or do we want to do anything else?
Nah, Bear's just getting in line.
Mm-hmm.
Getting it over with.
So we get in line, and you get up to the counter after a couple of minutes, and the kid just goes, passes.
Varys just slips the pass on very nonchalant.
Same.
He looks at it, he stamps it. Grimford Guided Tours is not liable for any lost merchandise, any harm to your person. If you get injured and he looks at this paper. If you get injured or if you die, Grimford Guided Tours is not responsible. You are in charge of your own person and all things on your person. Do you agree?
Varys nods.
Sure.
He nods and he just kind of gestures for you to go through.
Cool. He just continues on.
And as you walk by, you hear him repeating the same thing to the next person. After everybody is in and kind of past the showing their pass stage, he kind of looks up at no one in particular and he just goes, at the end of the tour, there will be an informational presentation on all the animals that have gone extinct in the area since the Forsaking, given by our state-of-the-art animatronic, Barney the Bat.
Ivy makes a face. She's not sure if she should be laughing or if she should be taking this seriously.
Alora just shrugs, looking around for an animatronic.
She does not see one.
Varys just like, that job must get monotonous after a while. Poor kid.
He seemed not very excited about it.
Would you be?
No, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Probably not.
No, I'd hate myself, honestly.
You make your way out of the gift shop exit entrance area into a tunnel, 10 feet wide, goes down.
Well, yeah, I do.
Okay, yeah, you do. Varys, you hear from in front of you. I don't think you're can't really see. There's just a crowd of people. You hear someone go, Varys? Hey, Varys. And you see a hand like come up from the crowd and it's waving frantically.
They look over to the waving hand.
And you see a half elf with light brown, like a pixie cut short hair, poke their way through the crowd. And you recognize this to be Zath's child, Ash.
Oh, hello, Ash.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Going on the tour.
Me too.
Are you excited? I know you were looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. I've heard there's so many cool things down here.
What part are you looking most forward to?
Probably the books.
Makes sense. That checks out for you.
Old books.
Older the better, yeah?
Yes. They have such a good smell.
They do.
They look at Ivy and Alara and they wave.
Oh, Ivy, Alara, this is my friend's child, Ash.
Hi.
Ivy gives a two-fingered salute.
Alara's like, hello. So as Ash goes to say something out of the corner of their eye, they see another person and they just go, oh, Kimber, hey. And they look at you, Varys, and they're like, okay, good to see you. And they run off to their friend.
He just chuckles and watches them go.
And you just hear,
Ashley, is that you? I haven't seen you in ages.
hey, Kimber, I actually go by Ash now. And my pronouns are they, them.
Oh, cool. Want to buddy up for the tour?
Sure.
Varys just smiles a little bit.
Okay, so we're about to go on the tour. So I think we look to the front of this narrow hallway down the way. Okay, are you ready? This is it, the big tour.
As they'll ever be.
I guess. It's so, like, dirty down here.
I was going to say gimmicky, like it doesn't...
Well, yes, okay, it's underground, and it's like mostly made of dirt. So dirty. And yes, gimmicky, but we know that there's real stuff down here because I found it. So we're going to find more, right?
Well, it was placed in your pathway to
Right.
eat you.
But even if it was, that still means that they're down here.
Which is concerning because that means whatever's eating people's also intelligent. So be careful.
You have your sight, that'll be fine.
Listen, I'm really only here to, like, see the tower. So I guess if we could just, like, get this on with, sooner we get it done, the better. And I can be topside again would be A-okay by me.
Oh, I am in complete agreement. Okay, everyone. Are we all ready to go? And you see a light up at the front of the tunnel, and a pole with a hanging lantern goes up, signifying the start of the tour.
Alara claps, like quietly.
Under the light, you see a 5'9" pastel pink tiefling with long, kind of like strawberry blonde hair and bright red eyes. And she is just all smiles, happy to be here, excited to tell you all about this tour and all the creepy things that we may encounter. She says, remember to keep with your partner or your group. Do not stray too far from the tour. We don't want to lose anybody during this time. If you have any questions, please feel free to hold them at the end of the explanation. Put your hand up and I will ask them in order.
Ivy takes both Alara and Varys' hands and barrels her way to the front.
No! Varys he looks so reluctant for this.
Betrayed.
He is betrayed.
Okay, when Ivy grabs Alara's hand, she like yanks free, but she follows the both of them and goes up to the front. What? Okay, yeah, let's go.
Oh, suddenly you're very interested in this tour.
Yeah, Alara said she wanted to learn and see things, and I figured the best way would be up front. Right by, you know, the tour guide who knows everything.
Yeah, I think so.
Insight check. That's a 3.
You don't even have to roll.
No, don't bother. It's like, sure.
Well, unless you get like a natural 1.
I did not, no. I got a 7.
Nice.
It's like, sure, all right. Whatever you say. And she continues to say, hello, everyone. My name is Joy, and I will be your tour guide today. In the back behind me, you will see my partner, Jeffrey, who will be taking up the rear and making sure no one falls behind. If you have any questions, please ask either myself or Jeffrey. All right, without further ado, let's get on our way. The tour begins, and she starts leading you all down the tunnels, happily chatting away about how excited she is to introduce you all to the lovely history of this ancient city and what they've learned so far. She does, however, warn, a little ominously, getting her voice a little darker and creepier for it, that you may hear some disembodied whispers or feel gentle touches from seemingly nowhere. It's not uncommon to see shadows shifting or feel somebody push you, so be very careful. And don't believe everything you see or hear. Once again, we'd like to remind you that we are not responsible for anybody who may...
Ivy's like fixated on this tour guide.
I think that she smiles. Every time she turns around to talk to the group and sees you looking at her, she smiles in acknowledgement, but after the first couple of times, she starts to be like, oh boy.
She realizes what she's doing after a couple, and then she like pointedly looks away or like looks her like she doesn't want to be creepy.
There's just like, oh, I think I see what's going on here.
What?
Ivy goes, I don't know what you're talking about.
Me neither.
I'm sure you don't.
Alara is just here to get more information, and this person is like a fount of information. I feel like Alara should be able to speak with them whenever they want.
Sure.
I mean, I agree.
She's quite pretty, isn't she? He looks at Ivy pointedly.
That is besides the point.
Alara goes, is she? I haven't even really looked at her yet.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Okay.
She says very quickly.
Ferris looks at Ivy like, that's besides the point, of course.
Ivy flips him off.
Joy leads you all down the main pathway, talking about what they've discovered so far and like really talking about the gift shops that they'll eventually run into towards the middle or end of this tour. And as she's guiding you down, the tunnels seem to get progressively darker. You notice almost right away that the really the only main sources of light are the lanterns at the front and the back of the group, and a couple lanterns hanging from the walls along these tunnels, but they're very sporadic. There seems to be a long distance between each lantern. There's a point where you're walking down where you, Ivy, feel your hair move on its own, as if somebody flicked it or a cool breeze had went by. Alara, you feel somebody touch your hand.
She jumps.
It's Bia. I'm kidding.
And Varys hears vague whispers from the dark. And judging by the murmurs from the crowd around you, you're not the only ones to notice this. Further back in the group, somebody actually shrieks as a mark shows up on the back of their neck. Like a claw mark.
Can I make an investigation check to see if I see, like, where the shenanigans are coming from? Because Alara thinks that these are shenanigans.
Yeah, actually make a perception check for me.
That's a 2 on the die.
All right, for a total of?
2.
Fantastic. Alara, you don't see any people around, like running on either side. In fact, the pathways don't seem wide enough for them. You can draw whatever conclusion you want from that.
She just kind of whispers, like, when are we going to get to, like, the interesting part?
And Varys like, oh, forgive me, are you not entertained?
I mean, it's fine. I just was hoping to see, like, the actual stuff.
After a few minutes of walking down this tunnel, you get to, like, this open, kind of circular room. Alara, you recognize this. You've been here before. Last time on your tour. This is the overlook portion, and as you stop, Joy kind of, like, goes to the front by this railing that kind of looks out over the actual dig site, where in the distance you see a very large, semi-shadowed tower.
Ivy.
Yes?
There's your tower.
Oh. She looks over at the tower.
It is further in the back of the rest of the ruins, which look like some sort of... It looks like a heavily damaged, but once made of stone, city.
Do you see a wizard?
Do you?
Ivy, make a perception check.
There's a mannequin in the window. That's the wizard.
There's a cardboard cutout.
22.
Nice.
Ivy, you're looking out amongst this ruined town, and you look in the distance at this tower, and you see the faintest glint of movement, of some sort of ethereal green color, and then it's gone.
Well, that's weird.
What?
There was like a glint of green magic, maybe? She turns to Joy.
Yes, she does.
And Joy just finished giving a detailed explanation of the history of
That
the city.
We didn't hear.
Ivy raises her hand.
Yes.
Hi, I have a really quick question. Do people talk about seeing, like, green energy or magic or...
I'm glad that you asked. People see things like that all the time. It's actually a big part of the tour. There's a lot of sightings of paranormal activity here. You probably saw a ghost.
Oh.
And you hear eruptions of murmurs and gasps and from the crowd. You get the sense that this might be the main reason why people go on this tour, typically.
Ivy's like, great.
If you're very frightened or nervous at all, we're going to be going to an area that sells talismans to protect you against these entities during your tour. That this bear snorts and looks away.
Alara, like, rolls her eyes.
Ivy just nods.
Maybe we'll get you a talisman.
No, Laura, we don't need a talisman.
Okay, I mean, I don't...
She says quietly, so Joy doesn't hear her.
If you would like to get a talisman, of course we can. But I don't think we need.
No, I just think it would make Joy happy.
Oh, that's true. It might bring Joy a bit of joy. After a little bit of people leaning over the railing to get a better look at the views, and Joy freaking out at people to not do that, she eventually collects everybody back into their groups and continues the tour down the hall, where again, occasionally, some very strange occurrences happen. And then you go into a brightly lit room with 3 sections, one with gems, one with very old books, and another with artifacts. The artifacts are in some glass cases with little placards at the bottom saying what they are believed to be and what they assume they were used for and who found them.
Joy?
Yes.
How much time do we get to stay down here?
Oh, well, we'll take about a 30-minute break. So please take your time. If anyone needs the washroom, there's also some to it. And she goes on a whole explanation of like where things are to be found.
Alara starts tinkering with her goggles.
Ivy goes up to Joy and she's like, so, what's your favorite thing in this room?
She says, well, typically it's the old book section actually, but I think that might be different today.
Oh, did they find something recently or?
No, my dear, I think it might be you. Varys makes a look like, oh, goes to the book section and leaves Ivy be. He's like, get it.
Get it. Ivy smiles. Aww. And Bia is about to say, like, chitter or do something, and she kind of, like, pushes Bia off her shoulder. And Bia follows Varys.
Aww.
Varys passed her shoulder for Bia. He's like, probably for the best, honestly.
Bia, like,
I know.
Ivy smiles. And she goes, I think I share the same sentiment. My name is Ivy.
So nice to meet you, Ivy. My name is Joy. But you probably knew that already.
She's so cute.
I did. And if it wasn't because you said something, it would just be your nature, honestly.
Aren't you a flirt? She smiles and she goes, what brings you to the town of Grimford?
Honestly, I'm not really sure. I thought it was one thing, but it seems like something else has drawn me here. On this tour right now because my friend really wanted to see it. I wasn't too excited about spending some time underneath the ground, but if you're here, I think I could spend a lot of time here.
Well, you've certainly lit up the room, Ivy. I must say. What are you doing later tonight?
I think I'm having dinner with you, actually.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Get it, Ivy!
They set up a time and place.
Yeah, there's the only places the bed and banshee in, but...
Yeah. Like, when do you get off your shift? And
yeah.
I think Alara is, like, awkwardly standing there, messing with her goggles, and then, like, after, like, a little bit too long, she realizes what's happening, and she, like, just kind of, like, backs away. I think she, like, bumps into Varys.
It's just like, Ivy's talking.
And she just, like, is, like, slowly and, like, backing away, working on her goggles. And I think she bumps into Varys.
Varys looks at her with an eyebrow raise and goes,
hey.
Did you just notice?
Yes, I did. And I thought I was standing there. And then I was like, I have to get out of here, So
I think you're right. They're in their own sort of world.
Backed away, yeah. She, like, puts her goggles on. And she looks up at him, and she goes, okay, well, I'm gonna see if there's any, like, magical stuff here. Because so far, I'm pretty disappointed with, like, the whole vibe of the place.
Right away, you see magical ship.
Okay.
On Varys.
And Bia.
Yeah, around Bia, you see a swarm of...
What color?
Your goggles flash red. They're not able to really identify what this might be. But they are swarming Bia. There's also some swarming around Varys in a thick cloud. There's quite a bit of magic around them. And it's also flashing red for the most part. Except for around their clothing, which is an orange coloration, which you recognize to be transmutation.
On his clothing?
On his clothing.
She, like, stares at Bia and Varys for, like, an inappropriate amount of time.
Are you alright?
Yeah, a lot of magic being detected right now.
You see magic around me? Oh, Bia, probably. He points to Bia.
Yeah, I can't, my goggles can't, they've never seen it before, so they won't tell me what it is, until I program it. Maybe Bias are, like, shedding onto you, but you also have, like, some transmutation around you as well.
Oh, that makes sense. My clothing is enchanted, so...
Oh, okay.
What?
Why?
Oh, it is enchanted to hold different outfits.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's convenient.
It must save
Makes
a lot of
packing
time.
lighter.
Yeah. Okay. And she looks around at the other stuff.
She's the second she looks away, he's like, oh. He lets out a small exhale.
Bia looks at you.
He just pats Bia. Yeah, so you look around, Alara, and make a perception check for me.
10.
10? You're looking around the room, and there is not a single ding on any of the items in this room. Not on the artifacts, not on the gems or the books. The only magic you see is coming off of people, some of the items they carry.
Pulls her goggles down and, sighs audibly. She looks at Varys. I think these are all fakes.
He looks around and kind of nods. He's like, I would assume so. I don't think they would actually keep the real things out in the open.
Well, then what is the point of the tour, then?
They shrug. To make money. And give a bit of history.
This was very disappointing.
I can imagine it was.
She nods. Alara looks at Joy and Ivy, probably still talking, and she goes, Joy, is the tour almost over now?
Oh, yeah, it is. It'll be over soon.
Okay. She just kind of goes and stands off to the side, disappointed. And not wanting to ruin anyone else's excitement, Yeah. It's I'm sure there are people who are oh, look at all this cool stuff.
There's quite a few people. You notice the talismans are disappearing quite quickly. Not an ounce of them are actually magical. Ivy, as you're talking to Joy about making further plans for your little date later, what is your passive perception?
16.
Ivy, you see something move in the shadows out of the corner of your eye further into the room, in an area where not many people are standing, but you know Alara and Varys were.
She looks.
Ivy, you make direct eye contact with a person in a black hood, pink eyes, very pale skin, and a sunken shallow face. And they grin, and they have these sharp, jagged teeth. As quick as you saw them, they smirk at you, acknowledging your eye contact, turn, and it's like they meld into the shadows. They're gone.
I think Varys on your shoulder, Bia immediately whips her head to the spot and tries to get both of your attention to look at the spot.
And Varys looks in the direction. You're gonna have to make a perception check.
Can Alara look too?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bia's not being quiet about it.
That's an 8.
I got 21 again. Yeah, Varys sees the tail end of a cloak disappear into what should be a shadowed corner of the wall. There's no pathway that way as far as anyone knows. He looks over at you, Ivy.
She sort of subtly shrugs, and Varys Bia nudges your face and bares her teeth and motions to the corner.
He looks at Bia and he's like, do you mean that they're scary? I'm not sure what you're trying to say.
She's just
Alara goes, what?
Oh, he looks at Alara. Did you not see the person?
No.
He points over to where the shadows are a little darker in the room. Looks like it's where a bookshelf stops and the light doesn't quite reach.
Mm-hmm.
He says, there was a person standing there.
Where did they go?
I don't know. I just caught the tail end of, I think a cloak or a jacket.
Alara walks over to it.
Make an investigation check.
That's good. That's a 24.
Alara, you are looking around this area where the books are, and you notice that this shelf, where the shadows of the lighting of the room kind of obscure it, there's a little bit of wiggle room between the shelf and the wall, and you notice that there's a crack, the start of a hole or dip into the wall further back behind the shelf. All right, everyone, that's it. The tour is over. Let's make our way back.
Alara lingers behind for a second to just kind of can she move the bookshelf?
Make a strength check.
14.
14?
14.
Okay.
I get so excited.
Yeah, so you move into there a little bit, and you don't quite fit, so you push the shelf, and you notice that it rocks a little bit, like it's going to tip over. Varys comes over and catches it before it actually falls, but you did manage to move it a little bit.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. Are you all right? What are you doing?
Do I see I see a pathway?
You see a hole in the wall that's big enough for a person to fit in.
I think I found out where your creepy person went.
No way. And he kind of like looks in.
That's really weird, right?
It's alarming for sure. I wonder if they know this is here. All right, stragglers, time to go. Varys looks at you, Alara.
Oh, we were just looking at something. Just the books are really great.
We're coming.
She like lingers, like looks back as she walks away, like super curious.
Varys makes a mental note to maybe mention that to Riven when he gets back. Yeah, so soon enough, Joy will gather everyone around and continue to take you all back towards the entrance. As you all are making your way towards the exit / entrance, the way you went in, you realize that you missed something on your way in. From the ceiling hangs a bat, a little animatronic bat, with a sign underneath it that says, if you want more information about all of these species that have gone extinct in this area, check the logs on your way out. But the bat itself has a repeating message for you all.
Have a great day. Make sure that no ghosts follow you on your way out. Have a great day. Make sure no ghosts follow you on your way out. Have a great day.
Does it look like a well-made animatronic?
It was probably state-of-the-art like 20 years ago. It's very outdated and is in need of repair.
She looks at Ivy and Varys and she goes, that's pretty cool. I make better ones though. She walks towards the exit, very defeated about this whole trip.
So you guys are talking and suddenly you hear a frantic voice. Can somebody help me, please?
Alara turns around.
Joy comes through and she's like, what's wrong? Is everything all right?
Ash, my friend is missing. Ash is missing. They were here, and now they're not here, and I don't know where they went. And they're gone. They're gone.
Oh dear, where did you last see them?
In the walking down the tunnel. Where the overlook is.
Okay, it's all right. Well, we're gonna call for help. Okay.
Okay.
Come this way. And Varys is already gone. He shows the Grimford guard brooch that's attached to his cloak and to Joy, and he just like runs past.
Ivy immediately follows.
Yeah, Laura goes too.
And then distantly fading, you can hear Joy's voice go, Mark, I think you need to get the guard over here. Someone's gone missing again.
And Varys is running down the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going?
Back to the main tunnel that they all were. And he's keeping an eye out for any sign of Ash. Footprints, scuff marks, anything.
Okay, perception check.
18.
You look around. You see footprints, but they're going in both directions. You know, there were just people who kind of trampled through here. I think Alara and Ivy catch up, and Alara goes, she said that that she last saw them by the overlook, right?
Yes, that's what I heard.
Yeah, let's go check there.
And he continues down to the overlook. He starts looking for cracks in the walls, anything.
So you get to the overlook. Would you all like to make investigation checks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's awesome.
I got a really good one too.
Natural 20 for a total of 25.
Yeah, I'm not gonna beat that.
27.
What the fuck?
So with a 25 and a 27, I think at the same time, Alara and Varys have the same thought in their head. And she just looks at Varys and she goes, the bookcase.
No, you're probably right. I'll go do that. Why don't you two go and try to get help?
I don't really think we should split up.
Yeah, no. And now Laura starts walking.
Yeah, no, Ivy follows as Alara starts walking.
Yeah.
She's like, I know you've got the fuck all, but...
we're not leaving you down here alone.
Yeah.
But this doesn't have anything to do with you.
Okay, let's go. We can talk about it later.
All right.
And Alara's like running down the hallway.
He heads out.
Okay, so let's get a marching order going.
It sounds like it's Alara, Ivy, and Varys.
Mm-hmm.
With Bia flying above.
I think as you two go on ahead, he's like, Hold on, wait for me. And he catches up.
Okay, so you're running down the hallway, leading back towards the way that you came, where the 3 rooms were, where you found the bookcase that had the little pathway behind the bookcase. I'm assuming no one is going quietly, is that correct?
I don't
That
think
would be
so.
correct. Nope. I'm worried more about speed.
Is anyone keeping an eye out for anything?
Yes.
Okay, perception checks.
Always.
Yeah, they're looking for Ash. Dirty 20.
I got a natural 20.
Oh boy.
Hey!
You're running down the tunnel, Ivy, and you hear like a flapping of wings. And you look up, and as you look up and you go to say something, you crash right into Alara, who is stopped short, also looking up, seeing that there seems to be 2 bats on the ceiling.
Do they really need those stupid animatronics up here too?
Alara's gonna make like a quick investigation check for a total of 25. Someone's rolling well. She goes, Ivy, I don't think that those are animatronics.
As you say that, one of them swoops down on Ivy. That does not hit. So it swoops down and Ivy kind of like shrieks as she ducks down. And then the other one is going to swoop down on top of Alara for a nat 20.
Yeah, that hits.
Crit hit. Oh no.
So 10 points of damage.
Holy shit.
So I think it like claws against her forehead.
She looks fucked up. I don't know what else to say.
How much health does she have normally?
15 hit points.
Oh my god.
Listen, it crit.
She cries out in pain as this thing comes down with its claws and just like quick attacks her. And I think when it goes away, she like wipes her forehead, and you, since she's in the front, you all see like blood kind of like come off of her, off of her hand and her forehead.
So now we're going to roll for initiative.
Love that.
That is an 8.
23.
16.
So with a natural 20, bat number 2,
Stop it.
bat number 2 goes after Varys this time. That is going to be a 15 to hit.
15 does not hit.
Okay. You duck out of the way as this thing comes screeching down on you. And now, Varys, it is your turn.
Oh, cool. Awesome. I think Varys just like curses under their breath, and he's going to take the short sword out.
A short sword? Okay.
Yeah, well, it's too small. It's too tight in here to use the scythe, isn't it?
It is. It's 10 feet wide.
Yeah. There's no way you can swing that around freely. It's not smart. That's a dirty 20 to hit.
That hits.
That is a total of 7 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And he's going to, with his movement, he's going to just like use half of it to put Alara behind him.
You're going to take an opportunity attack?
Shit. Well, if he's... I don't know if it's going to make sense, because then the bat's going to be able to get... This is difficult.
Narrow passageways.
Yeah. I think he's going to take an opportunity attack to get the most injured person out of the way.
It doesn't hit. It rolled a nat 1. It didn't even know you were moving.
Cool.
So, Laura, that is your turn.
Okay, so Alara wipes the blood off of her face as Varys kind of comes up in front of her. How high up is this bat? Like, is it hovering right above their heads, basically?
Yeah, right above.
So Alara slips on out of her pocket a very like dull brown wool glove, and she starts running her fingertips across her palm. And as she does, you start to see like this little spark of electricity come out of it. Does a 24 hit?
It does. Bat 1 or 2?
The one that attacked, that got the crit. I think that's bat 2, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
5 points of electricity damage.
Okay.
And that is her turn.
Perfect. That is going to be bat number 1, which is the one that is above Varys. So you watch as this bat screeches in anger, and then bing, disappears.
What?
The fuck?
And then
Am I fucking insane? Or does that bat just disappear?
And then you see as another bat, pink, appears and whiffs on Varys.
Cool. Bro.
And then you see another bat, pink,
There's so many bats.
I don't like it.
appears and goes for Ivy and hits. That is 6 points of damage to Ivy.
Jesus Christ.
And now it is Ivy's turn. Ivy reaches her hand out and you watch as frost forms on it and shoots out at the one that hit her.
Nice.
And that is going to hit. And that is going to be 6 points of damage. That is bat number 2 at the top of the order. You watch as bat number 2 pinks back into existence. And so all 4 bats are now around you. And that does not hit, so it whiffs on Alara.
Okay.
It is now Varys' turn. Varys, what are you going to do with 4 bats phasing in and out around you?
Yeah, I think he's just gonna take another slash at the one. Which ones look hurt?
1, 2, and 4 look hurt. So the 2 bats closest to you, and then 1 behind the group. They all look hurt.
He's gonna reach up and try to stab into number 2 with an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Awesome. It's a total of 9 points of slashing damage. Or piercing, I guess, since he's stabbing it.
Still alive.
How the fuck are they still alive?
No.
Go away.
Go away. Alara, that is your turn.
I think bats are really dexterous.
Probably.
She's gonna rinse and repeat.
Did you tell me that's a natural one?
It's a natural one.
Well, it was nice knowing y'all.
It's a natural one. I think that she charges. Are you gonna like make her take damage or something like that, or?
No, I think what happens is you go to like smack up at the bat and it phases out of existence and you end up smacking Varys on the bicep.
Oh my god. Do I have to roll a d8?
Yeah.
Roll damage.
4.
So Varys, you take 4 points of electricity damage.
He just grunts and looks back at you.
She goes, oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
This is going to be the bat who's in front of Varys. And he misses. And bat 3 is going to swoop down because an 18 definitely hits Ivy.
Of course it does.
And it claws at her face for 3 points of damage. Ivy's not looking super great as bat number 4 also swoops down. But she actually ducks out of the way and it misses. And now it's her turn. Ivy's going to rinse and repeat. She's going to shove her hand forward at number 4. And Frost is going to come off. That hits. And that is a d6 of damage. That's 3 points to number 4. So Ivy shoots her hand out to the bat that's behind them. It gets hit with a beam of frost.
Okay.
So now we are back at the top of the order. And the bat that is right next to Varys.
The one that he stabbed? Yeah.
Whiffs really bad. He actually ends up clawing number 1. He whiffs so bad. So the bat that's like next to it.
Oh, I love it.
That is 2 points of damage. Varys, that is your turn.
Awesome. With a 16 to hit.
That hits.
He's going to go after number 2 again. Or the one that just hit the other bat. And he's just gonna like get a slash along the bottom of the body if he can.
Okay.
It's 8 points of slashing damage.
So you watch as your short sword cleaves right through it and deals 2 points of damage to the one that's beside it.
Fuck yes.
Awesome. Okay. He steps aside from the back guts. And that's his turn.
Okay. That one you cleaved into is not looking great. Alara, that's your turn.
Okay, Alara's gonna try again, but she's gonna go for the bat that is in front of Ivy because the one that was in front of Varys just died. So she charges up her glove. Okay, lucky 13 for a total of 19.
It hits, yeah.
8 points of electricity damage. That's the most I could.
Awesome.
What is your plus to hit?
+6.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a spell.
I know. It's awesome.
Mine is a +6 too.
She charges up her glove, and I think she like grabs it for a second while the shock goes through, and then she lets go.
Yeah, it screams. It didn't like that. The one beside Varys is going to screech and come down again on Varys. And it whiffs.
Hey. I think Varys just like ducks further down.
He screeches. And then the one that Alara just hit is going to go after Alara. Alara does a 12 hit.
No,
Cool.
It doesn't.
So
Amazing.
distraught.
I was so nervous.
So distraught at its friend's death, this one also whiffs onto you.
I think she ducks down in between Ivy and Varys.
That does not hit Ivy, so number 4 does not hit. Varys, it is your turn.
Awesome. He's gonna go for the one who just went after him earlier.
Okay.
The little ones left beside him and Alara. That's gonna be a 22 to hit.
That hits.
And I think he's gonna go for the wing.
Okay.
It's 8 points of slashing damage.
Nice.
That is exactly the hit points.
Cool.
So he dies. screaming.
So I think that he was aiming for the wing and actually hits the body instead, but it's like it's a perfect correction because it's dead.
Yep. Half of it phases out of existence and the other half lays there.
Interesting.
Ew, gross.
Alara, that is your turn.
Okay. Well, I guess she's just gonna keep on keeping on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a 19 on the die.
That hits. Roll me that sweet damage.
8! You guys!
Hey,
Good job.
bats are her favorite enemy.
Bats are my favorite. It clawed her face.
Well, he's going to turn around and attack you now.
Okay.
Does a 16 hit?
Mhm.
Yeah. That is 3 points of damage.
She looks like she has 2 hit points left.
Yeah, I think we're gonna put you to the wall next turn.
I think that she like falls into the wall. Like she kind of backs up and like lands on the wall, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Bat number 4 does not hit. Ivy. So that is Varys' turn now. There are 2 bats left.
Okay, he's gonna go for the one. Which one looks the most fucked up?
The one that is a little farther away from your group.
Okay, I want to get the one that's closest to Alara.
Okay.
With natural 20.
That hits. Yeah, that totally hits.
Wasted on a bat.
It's okay, you can cleave. Maybe you can kill them both.
I was going to say, you might be able to get both of them.
That would be dope. So right away, it's gonna be 9 points of damage and then another 8.
How do you want to kill both of these bats?
I think that he sees Alara fall and he sees how fucked up Ivy is too. He just gets fucking fed up. These are fucking bats, man. So he just turns around and like just takes a big old swing, lining up perfectly between the two, hitting one to go through the other and like slice them down towards the ground.
Nice.
They both die screaming.
He spits on him, wipes the blood off of the sword and just sheaths it and he's like, fucking bats. He turns to Alara and Ivy. He's like, are you two all right? You held up fairly well.
Alara slides down the wall. She's got like she's got her hand on her head. And she just like slowly like sinks down.
Thanks so much for listening. We're incredibly grateful for the love and support.
And P.S. if you want more content, check out our Patreon for free clips, bonus scenes, and if you join the Red Rogues, you'll get access to the Rainbow Dice Club chat and after show where we talk about past episodes.
If you're enjoying the show, please consider leaving us a 5-star review and tell your friends about us.
Special thanks to our Green Fiend Patreon supporters, Jen Bear and Michael.
And with that, our story pauses here for today. Join us next time as we continue our adventures, and remember, it's never too late to start your own.
Bye!
I love that we have vocal stems to get into.
I have 2. One is hello darling and the other one is Alara.
I've used Alara and all right. All right.
Oh my god.
I like how we both have Alara as a vocal stem.
Technically, I have my name as Alara Spittlespark as
so
a vocal
all
stem.
3 of us have Alara as a vocal stem.
It's just the best because it's got all of this, like all of the
It's got
vowels.
all the sounds.
Yeah,
It's got all the vowels.
it's all the good
Oh
shit
my
in there.
God, that's so funny. Mine is just and the jacket. Sorry.
Yes, and the illegal.
She doesn't
jacket.
say that. I said
She
that.
should.
The
She doesn't.
jacket with a little shoulder twist.
Obviously. Perception. She's dead. You see she's propped up by a spear that's through her chest.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's 21.
I loved the subtle reveal.
About Reg.
Yeah.
And Ribbon.
She's got a type. Reg has a type.
Tall half orcs
Mm-hmm.
with a commanding presence.
Yep.
The immediate silence.
He's like, bitch, what the fuck?
He's so confused.
Did we ever name this place?
The tunnels.
I feel like we named it, but I don't remember.
Delilah's ditch.
They're just shitting all over this poor woman any chance they get. Holy shit.
No, it's the Lothan tours.
Yeah.
Or just, I don't know.
Wow. Are you okay? That was wild. Ugh.
No, the third word has to start with a G. Grimford Ghost Gallery.
Guides.
Grimford Ghost Guides.
Grimford Ghost
3G.
Guides. Okay.
It's 3G.
The triple
So
G.
you-
3G network.
3G network. There's an interactive game called Find Delilah. It's a scavenger hunt where you find little pictures of Delilah.
No. Like, where's Waldo?
Every day, Varys wakes up and chooses a poet shirt.
Yep. He has options. Every day he chooses
Apparently.
this.
It's like an anime girl montage every morning. He changes from his pajamas into a poet
Bold of you
shirt.
to assume he sleeps in pajamas.
You're right. He puts on clothing.
Yep. It's so high.
Swang it around.
Swang.
Swang it. Sling that thing around.
Swinging around town. A very dull wool.
Dully?
I don't know where Dully came from. Did you forget we were level 2, Dusty?
No.
I know. That's how I feel about my monster, so.
Nom 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 nom. Your indecision gives me time to put balls in my mouth.
Oh my god.
No, I keep forgetting that we're recording this, and this is probably going to go in bloopers.
I mean, one just took Alara past half health. She's going to have a scar on her. She's going to have a Harry Potter scar on her forehead for the rest of her life.
It must suck to have less than 30 hit points.
When we were level
Does.
7, I had 39, so shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it.
I will never be over. What are you at right now? I'm below 40. Well, I only have 39, so shut the fuck up.
The rage that I felt in my body.
I watched it come over your person. It was funny as hell.
I was like, what did you just say?
What did you just say to me?
Say it again.
Out
And I
loud.
was like,
Okay.